You're showing up to the gym, you're lifting, but you're wondering, am I actually training hard enough to grow? Let's find out. Guys, the progress we're looking for doesn't just come from moving weight. If any of these 5 things sound familiar to you, then chances are you are most likely not training hard enough. But it's not a big deal. You can easily change these things. The first thing we need to do is identify, and that's what we're going to do right now. Let's go. The first sign, guys, is if you're never sore or fatigued. Now, don't take this the wrong way. The goal when we're training shouldn't be just to feel sore and feel tired. And that actually doesn't always mean that you're putting on muscle. That doesn't mean that you're doing the right thing if you're always sore and tired. But if you feel the same after every single workout, if you don't feel tired at all, if you feel like it was easy, then you probably aren't training hard enough. To keep pushing our body to get stronger, it takes a lot of energy. And especially in the way that we're using progressive overload, if we want to be using that to slowly add weight every week and push our body to get stronger, you should feel in some way fatigued and you should feel a little bit sore. Again, if you don't feel this way, then you likely aren't pushing hard enough. You aren't going hard enough. It's too easy. And if it's too easy, you might still get a good workout in, but muscle growth wise, you're leaving a lot of gains on the table like that. The second sign that you may not be training hard enough is you stop your sets when it feels easy. Guys, if you're doing any exercise, end your set and you don't feel any challenge. Like it just feels like you just came back from a little Sunday walk where you feel like it didn't really take much out of you. You aren't training hard enough. 100% you're not training hard enough. Especially when you start to get comfortable and your body starts to get used to moving weight, we need to be challenging our body a lot more. We need to be putting more pressure on our body to grow. You should be trying to get anywhere between 1 to 3 reps of failure of every exercise that you do, which means that the last few reps that you carry out should be slower, they should be harder, and it shouldn't feel easy. So let's say on the 8 to 10 rep, it should be 8, 9, and you should really have to grind out that last rep, and it should feel really exhausting and tiring. If you don't feel that, then sorry to break it to you, you're probably not training hard enough. But again, that's not a problem. All that might be is you just need to add 5 more pounds. Add 5 more pounds and just add a slight little bit of resistance and do that, and you can just train harder just like that. Number 3, the third sign that you probably are not training hard enough is you are not progressing over time. You're not increasing over time. You're not progressing on anything. And this doesn't just include weight. Yes, we should be trying to add weight and increase weight over time. But as we talked about before, progressive overload isn't just based on weight. You need to be improving something. So if last time we did 10 reps, we should try to go for 12 reps. And at that 12 rep mark, maybe we can add 5 pounds to the bicep curl. We need to be progressing. So we need to push the envelope a little bit. We need to push ourselves. Even if that's just 1 more rep, 2 more reps, 5 more pounds, 1 more set. If we can just push the envelope just a little bit, that we're just pushing a little bit harder than last time. We're giving our muscles a reason to adapt and get bigger than last time. Number 4, guys, your last few reps didn't challenge you mentally. And this ties back to point number 2, which is within your last 2 to 4 reps of your exercise, you should really be challenged physically and mentally. You should be asking yourself questions in your brain like, why am I doing this to myself? It sounds crazy, but your brain should be asking subconscious questions in its mind like, why am I doing this to myself? This hurts. I just want to stop. You should be asking yourself these questions. You should be experiencing these feelings of just challenging thoughts in your brain because it's basically the body's defense mechanism trying to tell you to stop. It might sound a little bit crazy what I'm saying, but we want our body's defense mechanism to be having these thoughts because if we do this, we know we're doing something right. If we're pushing our body to a level that it wants us to stop, it means that we're pushing it beyond its limits, and that's what it takes, guys. And number 5, guys, is you're distracted. You should be completely locked into your exercise. You should be locked into yourself, locked into your mind muscle connection, trying your best to understand the muscle that you're trying to exercise and carry that out and stimulate that muscle while you're doing your exercise. Guys, if you're doing an exercise and you're on your phone in the meanwhile, or you're looking around, or you're talking to someone while you're exercising, and you're not fully locked in on your set, then you're not training hard enough. 100% you're not training hard enough. Because if you're truly training hard enough, you should be dedicating all your energy. You should have no other energy to be wasting other than the task at hand, you moving the weight at hand. That's the only thing that should be on your head for that 10 to 20 seconds of a set. During your rest is your rest. You can talk, you can go on your phone in your rest. That's a different story. But during your set, you should be completely locked in on yourself. All right. So what does training hard actually look like? This doesn't mean you need to be going to failure in every set. This doesn't mean you need to kill yourself, guys. This doesn't mean that you need to be a bodybuilder in this gym, that you're screaming and making loud noises. You don't need to be doing this. But it's very simple, guys. Use controlled tempo. Don't just throw weight around. Use a tempo where you can control weight and you can control your form. Make sure your form is as good as possible and you're getting a good range of motion. You should also be finishing your sets with about 1 to 3 reps in reserve, which means that you would only be able to complete 1 to 3 more reps in good form. You guys also be tracking your lifts. Track your lifts in any means that you can. I prefer doing it on a smartphone app. You could simply do it in your notepad. You can even bring a notebook to the gym. However you choose, all that matters is you need to be writing down what you did today, and the next time we do the same exercise, we got to make it harder. That's it. Progressive overload. We got to make it harder. We got to add something and make it a little more difficult. And if we can do that, and we do this over weeks and months, guys, you're going to see tremendous changes. Guys, training hard doesn't mean to train reckless. All it means is we want to keep challenging ourselves. We want to keep making it more difficult. I like to relate it back to when we're learning math in grade school. We slowly start with the basics. So we start with adding and subtraction. When we go to multiplication and division, we now include some of the adding and subtraction that we learned before, and we use that in our multiplication and division. And now when we move to advanced math, like algebra, we tie all these things together and we just keep adding on what we did before. So again, that's all we want to do. We just want to add on what we did before. From last week's workout to this week's workout, let's add something. Again, guys, focus on your sets, push close to failure, track your lifts, and don't be afraid to get uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to feel a little bit of pain and discomfort, because that pain and discomfort is what's going to build muscle. Trust me. Nothing that you want is going to come easy. It might hurt a little bit, and it might be a little bit tiring, but listen, your body's going to thank you when you get that physique that you want, that physique that you are craving. You are going to be thankful to yourself that you went through that pain. Guys, if you're putting in the time, make it count. Just train hard and we'll keep growing. Guys, if I helped you with anything, please consider giving us a subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And I have some more tips coming for you soon. Thank you.